All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is August 12th, 2025. My name is John Carignan, and I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That is the day trading division of the hit and run candlesticks family. Hey, look at this. Made $34K on a $120K account. Love those trend days. Love it. All right, let's go take a look at how that happened. All right. Wow. All right. So, first, let's take a look at the market. Okay. In the market, what do we got today? Okay. So, we have a 10-minute uptrend. Okay. Over VWAP. Okay. And I think I've said this not once, probably 100 times. My favorite pattern. All right. Right now, you are in the rare opportunity, all right, to trade the 10-minute uptrend over VWAP inside of, okay, see the 10-minute, the 3 is on top of the 8, okay, the trend, see the window is moving up and away from VWAP, that's the brown line, okay, inside of the 2-hour uptrend, all right, see the 3 is on top of the 8. Okay, inside the 2-hour uptrend, inside, the daily uptrend. Again, notice the 3 is on top of the 8. Okay, the daily uptrend, inside the weekly uptrend. Usually you don't get all of these time frames working with you, for you, blowing wind in your sails, filling that movement with energy to the upside, okay? And that's what I'm talking about. You don't get that all the time. There's usually one of them or two of them or three of them that are working against you at the time. Okay? This is the rare opportunity. And I say it over and over because this is the kind of results you can get when you've got this opportunity in front of you. Okay? Inside the monthly uptrend. Okay? See? 3 on top of the 8 over the 17. Weekly uptrend, 3 on top of the 8 over the 17. Okay, so let's go back to the 10-minute chart. Okay, 10-minute chart right here. And let's pull it up, 10-minute chart. Okay, 10-minute uptrend. All right, between the hours of 11 and noon, all right, if you've got a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP, there is a 70% chance that 10-minute uptrend will continue right on till 2 o'clock, 2:30, okay? So look at 2:30, they gave you the red candle, okay? A lot of people were prepared for that 2:30 possible reversal, okay? Right there, they gave you the red candle right on 2:30, okay? 10-minute uptrend. Now, in those 10-minute uptrends or those trend days, there is a 30 to 40%, well, I'm going to say 20 to 30% chance that the security winds up closing at the end of the day near the high of the day, or either close to at the high of the day or near the high of the day. You can see that was one of those. Today was one of those days. It was that breakout day. Okay, price action. 10-minute uptrend, and look at this, closing, nice 10-minute uptrend, closing at the end of the day near the high of the day. Awesome trade today on that 10-minute chart. Again, 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. And what did we have? We had 2 days of straight consolidation, zigzagging back and forth across, well, you can see it right here, 637, 636. 636.50. Price moves under, over, okay? So price action right there, holding this base, all right? Price action gives you that nice breakout 10-minute uptrend over the base right there. So SPY, all right, I'm going to say it, all right, made a new all-time high, all right? Drop the mic. It doesn't get any better than this. So that's an uptrend, all right, up at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. All right, it's bullish and in an uptrend right there. Okay, that 10-minute chart. Let's look at QQQ. All right, QQQ puts in another new all-time high. Again, closing at the end of the day near the high of the day. Okay, QQQ, daily uptrend. Again, it doesn't get any better than this. All right, and you still got all your time frames are still in uptrends. Weekly, monthly, daily, 2-hour, 10-minute, beautiful trade. We'll be looking for a continuation, okay, into tomorrow of the 10-minute uptrend. So we'll be looking for a green candle. We don't want a wick candle, a wick with more wick than body and tail. All right, we don't want a doji and we don't want a spinning top, and we definitely don't want any red candles, okay? We'll be looking for a continuation of the 10-minute uptrend on both QQQ and SPY. All right, so there's price action right there on QQQ. Don't be surprised if they pull back to VWAP and then rip it from there. All right, right on top of minor support, right on top of that, right there. Okay, don't be surprised if they pull back to there and then rip it right back up. Okay, so there's QQQ, SPY. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, let's take a look at that. Nice 10-minute uptrend on FNGU. Let's take a look at that on the daily chart. All right, and not at the all-time highs yet, but again, FNGU in a downtrend, but look, not moving down. All right, a downtrend that's not working. Okay, because they got a low, they made a lower low that put them in a downtrend. Now they got to make a higher high. So right up there. So they got to take that high out. That might happen early tomorrow morning. I wouldn't doubt it if they gap up there, take out that high. FNGU on the daily chart. Again, all the way at the top of quadrant 4, that's bullish up there. That's bullish up there in a downtrend that's not working. All right, FNGU. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM, new rally high. All right, and they negated the downtrend. I believe that is a new rally high for IWM. So the high there is 226.98. This high is 226.71. New rally high for IWM, and they negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend right there, making the high. Closing in the upper third, actually closing in the upper quadrant in the number 4. All right, that's bullish and in an uptrend. Love it, IWM. I like to see a better breakout, but that is a nice candle. Hopefully we get some follow through on that tomorrow. That's IWM. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow still consolidating up here. Price action. Remember this morning, okay, price action moves up and over to the right. That's bullish. Moving up and over to the right. That's bullish. Okay, up there, quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. Okay, they're in a downtrend that's also not working. All right, because here's a low, and they made a lower low. All right, so they're in a downtrend. But get this, it's not moving down, it's moving up. All right, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Okay, so up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish and in an uptrend. Oh, excuse me, and in a downtrend that's not working. All right, so there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at some technicals. T2122. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is beautiful. This is just beautiful. Look at this. So we go airborne, all right? We don't even stop. We don't even walk. I mean, it's like the bulls just gave us the horns, and we were like one of those rodeo clowns flying in the air, swinging, arms flailing, legs flailing, you know, and we land in the buy zone, and we camp out all day in the buy zone, drinking the bear's wine, and we just make higher low, little micro higher lows and higher highs in the buy zone. Love it. All right, T2122 landing in the buy zone after we got hooked by the bull's horns right there. T2123. All right, so did we make a higher high? Well, we did. Yes, we did. We took out this high, took out that high. Look at all the highs we took out. This high, that high, that high. Didn't take out that high though, but look, nice looking chart. T2123. You can see we bullied from minute one all the way up to the end of the day, closing the day at the high of the day right there. All right, at the high of the day, not the high of the rally. Okay, now if we take out this high right here, okay, we will have a new rally high. Okay, it's getting there. All right, got a little gap to get through right here. We're on the other side of the falling 200. That's good news. T2123 15 minute is now in an uptrend. All right, that's good news. Okay, because they're making, see, there's a high. We made a higher high. Okay, on the 15-minute chart. All right, and you can see we still got that head and shoulders pattern showing up here. Okay, so if we run up here and take out that high, we will decapitate the head and negate the head and shoulders pattern right there. There's T2123. That's the 15-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 3-bar chart. 3 bars still in an uptrend. All right, it's 3 bars still up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. What we're dealing with over here, okay, is this consolidation right through here. Okay, so we got past this, and we even got past this, but we got halted by this one and this one right there. Okay, so if I take the drawing tools off and put my crosshairs up, you can see where the white line comes right across right here. Okay, and then you just follow it over, and you can see where we got halted with that double top right there. Okay, so we can get back up there and punch through. We got the higher low. Okay, like to see us punch through, make the higher high, and start working on taking out that all-time high, make some new all-time highs up there. Okay, it can happen. Think about it. All right, if we're going to have some Trump tariffs, well, you know everything's going to cost more. Okay, you saw CPI today did a little creep. All right, little creep to the upside. Not much, just a little creep to the upside. Okay, you know, when you get inflation, that gives you higher prices for goods and services. And what that means is that's more revenue, okay, like it or not, that's more revenue for the companies that we're trading, okay? So when they get more revenue, hopefully that transcends down into higher profits, and higher profits means more earnings per share. More earnings per share means, well, you got it, a better, bigger, larger price for the per share price, okay? That's what happens when you got inflation, all right? Whether it's POTUS regulated or whatever it is through tariffs, whether it's artificial or real, doesn't matter, okay? You're still going to get more higher prices, and what happens is you're going to get a higher price per share, and that's going to cause these indexes to grow even further, okay? So there's T2123 3-bar, still in an uptrend because we got some highs right here and here. And you can see we made a high right there. We made a higher high. So we're in an uptrend. All right, to negate the uptrend, we'd have to come down here, take out this low. All right, so there's T2123 3-bar. We are bullish up over the 200 SMA. And we're still in an uptrend right up there. Okay, let's take a look at FNGU. Okay, price action. It's a 15-minute chart, and we'll look at what today did. Okay, so we got a bullish gap up, and the bears came quickly and filled the gap. All right, and then now we'll look. We're holding over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. Okay, and created. Actually, we just broke the rubber band candle right there. This is the free-floating candle up here. It surpasses the spike candle. All right, so there we go. We broke the rubber band candle for the 200 SMA. bullish. Look at this. Buying almost from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. We had one red candle right here. I don't know. They must have had a Bloody Mary for breakfast or something. But you can see price action ripped up over that VWAP right there, that brown line. So nice rally. Not a new rally high, not a new all-time high. But let me just say this: we're close to attacking the all-time high. And look what they did. They moved up and they held it. They stuck it right there into the close, meaning they're holding that higher ground on the 15 minutes. So this could, make a move, kind of like it goes up, over, maybe another move up. We'll see what happens. I'll bet we gap up tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Okay, either that or we gap down into VWAP and then J hook out of there. I'd like to see that happen as well. All right, so there's FNGU. Take a look at a few sectors. All right, we'll start off with USO. All right, and let's move over here to game plan. All right, start with USO. All right, USO in a downtrend because see the low, they making lower lows. All right, and they got this habit of everywhere they go, they move up, they give it up. Okay, so you can see right here, price goes up and they give it up. Okay, and then they do it again. Okay, they go up and they give it up. All right, and even when they go down, okay, even when they go down, they give that up too. Okay, so let's see price goes down. Price goes down. Well, that's kind of big. And then they give that up too. Okay, so they go up, they give it up, they go down, they give it up. They're just stuck in neutral land. All right, they're in a downtrend right now. They'd have to take out a high to be in an uptrend, but because they made a lower low, they're in a downtrend. But they're stuck right here in the middle, right there, right in neutral territory. Had they closed up here in the upper third, that would have been bullish. Had they closed down here, okay, in the lower third of the quad lines, that would have been bearish. But right now, they closed in the middle, so this is the neutral land right here, neutral. Okay, they go up and down, zigzagging back and forth. All right, up there's bullish, down here, bearish. Okay, so there's price action for USO. Let's take a look at UNG. All right, UNG attacking the all-time lows. Actually, they just made a new all-time low. See that? New all-time low for UNG. Again, with the bearish head and shoulders pattern. Okay, let's take a peek at that. You got the triple top head right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, got a double top right shoulder. 1, 2. Got a double top left shoulder. 1, 2. Okay, you can see price making lower lows here. So low, there's 4 lower lows right there. And then we got another lower low and another lower low and an even lower low than we've seen in a long time. This is the all-time new low right here for UNG. Okay, down here quadrant 1, it's in a downtrend. Okay, I'm going to say, the saying, it doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any worse than that. All right, you're closing at the all-time low right now on UNG. All right, never seen it this low in the lifetime of UNG. Okay, so that's bearish and in a downtrend. All right, so $6 projected for natural gas. That's crazy. All right, gold. All right, gold's hanging out over the 200 SMA up here. Okay, so you got price action. Okay, over the 300, over the $300 mark. Okay, no SMA. All right, maybe SMA. I don't know because I don't have it on the chart. I'm not a big SMA follower, but right here, up over the 300 level. Okay, again, price moves up and holds the higher ground. That's bullish. Okay, right now, price is bullish up here at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, they're in a downtrend, but they're not moving down. All right, they got in a downtrend because they made a couple of lower lows right here. Okay, but they're not moving down. They're just moving to the right. So there's gold bullish. and in a downtrend that's not working. Okay, let's take a look at silver. Silver consolidating top of quadrant 4, still in an uptrend, has not made a lower low. All right, but go back to gold. Okay, I mean, you're going to consolidate up here over 300 for 4 months straight. Yeah, eventually you're going to make a lower low. Okay, right there. All in all, this is up and to the right. All right, but if you do this, you hang out here for too long. Eventually, you're gonna wind up, just kind of drifting. All right, below the low of a couple of candles, and therefore starting or triggering the downtrend. But note, it's not moving down. Okay, back to silver. All right, silver is up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, silver bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, so we did silver. Let's take a peek at just a few others. SMH. And there's SMH putting in a new all-time high at the end of the day. Notice that. Okay, drop the mic. Doesn't get any better than that. XLK. I got to zoom in. And that high is 268.01. That high is 268.28. New all-time high for XLK and SMH. Okay, it doesn't get any better than that. All right. XLF. All right, price action up here in quadrant 4. They're in a downtrend, but they're not moving down. Okay, so they'll see the low. They made a lower low. All right, still up in quadrant 4, still consolidating over prior consolidation here. Okay, over prior consolidation. That is a bullish environment. That's a bullish behavior. That's a bullish outlook for that. Okay, so XLF. Top of quadrant 4, that's bullish and in a downtrend that's not working. All right, and last one, we'll take a look. Let's take a look at XLE. See, that's still neutral. All right, again, XLE. See all the peaks. Everywhere they go up and they give it up. Even when they go down, they give it up. Okay, so just neutral. XLE. All right, nothing, not ready yet. Okay, that's all I can say. Not ready yet. All right, on XLE. IYT. All right, IYT back here in the upper third. That's bullish. All right, but in a downtrend because they made a lower low. See the low? Right through here, you got a little tail that pokes through the 17. Well, they made a lower low, so that puts them in a downtrend. Now, if they happen to come back through, take out this high, which they did, so that makes them back in an uptrend. See that high that pokes through the 17 up there? Well, they made a higher high, so that's a uptrend right there. So IYT, not in a downtrend, in an uptrend, and closing in the upper third, and bullish in the upper third up here. Okay, and up over all-time high anchored VWAP. We like that on transports. All right, we could really see a robust rally. We've got everything working. Financials are climbing their way back into quadrant 4, and they're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. We like that. You can see technology, all right, has made new all-time highs. Semiconductors made new all-time highs. Financials climbing around in the top quadrant of number 4. And still in a downtrend that's not working. We've got all the indexes making some making new rally highs, some making new all-time highs. You got T2123 still consolidating up there in quadrant 4, and still in an uptrend on the larger time frame. All right, and actually in the 15-minute as well. So everything's looking fantastic right now. IWM, yeah, I think I did IWM. IWM, see up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish and making a new rally high right there on IWM. So they were in a downtrend and they just negated the downtrend and converted the uptrend by making a new rally high right there. So there's IWM. That's small cap and mid cap, Russell 2000, aka 2000, meaning 2000 securities inside this index right here. So that's a really broad scope of the market without any weighted stocks in there or securities, because you know QQQ and SPY have a lot of weighted products in there, and those weighted ones carry so much juice, so much spinach, all right, they can jerk the index around just when those 10 move as a pack together. All right, so there we go. There's the day for the day for today. All right, so had a rocking good day. Okay, share it with you one more time with SPY. Trading some SPY calls. Okay, these are my losses. These are my gains. Okay, 10-minute uptrend. All right, I'm going to go through it here and you'll see. Okay, all I did was buy the lows. All I'm doing here, all right, is looking at the 10-minute uptrend. Is the 10-minute uptrend still intact? And if it is, then what I do is I fan out a net of sell orders, okay? And what does a net of sell orders look like? Well, I actually made a video today, but it's about 5 hours long. And you'll see it spread out a net, okay, of sell orders. So I sell like 10 at 32, 10 at 33, 10 at 34, 10 at 35, 10 at 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, okay? That's a net, okay? That's spreading out a net of sell orders. So as price moves up, it runs in and I get filled, all right? And then I spread out a net of buy orders so I can get reloaded, all right? So I would put a buy, okay, at 29, a buy at 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, okay? You get the idea, okay? A net of buy orders underneath. So after I take my profits, all right, I get reloaded. And then it goes up again, take some more profits, all right? And then price pulls back. Of course, you can see the blue dots, I get reloaded. Red dots, okay, I unload. So I unload some of my position, and then I reload it. And then I unload it, and then I reload it. This is all I'm doing all day long, okay? I just look up here, okay? 10-minute uptrend still working? Oh, yeah, okay. Keep fanning out my sell orders and my buy orders, okay? So making sure I have some inventory to sell in case price really does rip. And you can see here's a couple of rips right there. Okay, this was a 0 DTE, so I like to be kind of out of that around 230 or yeah, right around 230. So you can see made 24K, all right, on just trading the ups and downs of this 10-minute uptrend. Notice the trend moves almost in a nice smooth pattern to the upside, but you look at the option, okay, which is out of the money, goes up and down, up and down. Every time it goes up, I've got a net of sell orders for price to run into. And then when it comes back, I get reloaded and it goes up. And that's all I do all day long on this 10-minute uptrend as soon as I find a trend. All right, same thing here on these puts. All right, had some puts, bought some puts, sold them into the dip. Notice we dipped right there. Okay, and then I had to double down and get out at break even on those. Okay, on the calls, 643, 0 DTE calls. See right here, this is the days till expiration in the pink. Okay, so 643 calls. Okay, notice I started trading those at the end of the day. Little thriller trade running on there. Okay, right about 3:30. I can see these candles start to develop higher lows. Okay, right through here. And then I trade that to the upside. Then we get a pullback. I reload. And then we do the same thing again. All right. Again, it's a trend day, so there's 20 to 30% chance that we wind up finishing the day at the end of the day near the high of the day. Okay. So there's SPY. So that's a little thriller trade right into the close right there. Okay. Got some 650 calls. 717 on those. Again, buying the dips and selling the highs. Okay, 10-minute uptrend. Is it intact? Okay, then I farm out. I spread out my net of sell orders for price to run into, and then I spread out my net of buy orders to get reloaded. Sometimes I don't get reloaded. See that? Didn't get reloaded there. Okay, so there's take some 645 calls again, spreading out a net. Selling, buying, sell into the rallies, reload on the dips, sell into the rallies, reload on the dips, sell into the rallies. It's just like this. Wash, rinse, repeat. wash, rinse, repeat. Okay? Is the 10-minute uptrend still intact? Are we still holding the higher ground? Okay, then I will continue to wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay? It's the same thing over and over. Okay? Find the correct option. Okay? And then just look for the 10-minute uptrend and then wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay? Spread out your net of sell orders. Spread out a net of buy orders so you can get reloaded after you sell off part of your inventory up there. Okay, so that's 440 on those. Here's some 635 calls. Okay, of course, you know we got up to 643. So you know those 635 calls are way deep in the money, and I don't feel like financing Wall Street. So I don't like trading those because, of course, you can see they're $8.83 a share. All right, so that means one contract. All right, 100 shares per contract, going to cost me like $800, okay? I don't like that. I like the ones that cost me $36, okay, and I sell them for like $1.25 or 99 cents, okay? That's what I like. I don't like wrapping up a lot of capital into an in-the-money option just so I can get some good performance, because it winds up consuming a whole lot of capital. Again, $8.83. That's almost $9 right there, okay? So 9 times 100, because there's 100 shares in a contract, okay? That's like $900 that wraps up, okay? Who wants to do that, okay? You can't get too many contracts when you're wrapping up $900. Yeah, I'm going to get some pretty good performance from it, but the point is you're wrapping up a lot of my buying power. All right, so I don't care for that. I like them when they're like 50 cents, all right, and I can sell them for $1, all right? That's what I like that a lot. Okay, if you go back to these, okay, I was telling the traders, look at these. I captured a lot of these for like 20 cents, okay? I didn't sell them all for 77 cents, okay? That we know, okay? I didn't sell them all for 20, but I sold some of those contracts, okay, for 76 cents, sold 2 for 78, sold 2 for 74, okay, 2 for 68, 3 for 65. You can see I'm selling them up here, okay? A lot of these were sold like 10, see I can so, okay? So if you buy them for 22, and you're selling them for 44, okay, or 53, okay, that represents 100% on your investment, okay, inside of what? You know it's a trend day, so you know that there's a good chance that 10-minute uptrend is going to last you till 2:30, all right, good chance of that, so you kind of stick with it, all right, as long as that 10-minute trend stays intact. Again, you're buying them for 20 cents and you're selling them for 40 and 50 cents. I mean, that's 100% mark. That's 100% profit inside of 1-2 hours. Okay, not all week, not all weekend, not 2 weeks. Okay, inside of a couple hours, right there. Okay, price action. You're rewarded like 150% or 100% because you're buying them for 20, 25, and you're selling them for 45 and 50. Okay, so that's what I like to do. That's how I trade those. All right, and then I lost some money here on some calls. We woke up this morning and we were way up top, and then we started to come down. I was afraid they were going to really complete the gap fill and head lower, so I sold out of those, and I lost 3,900 on those. And these puts, I got underwater on these puts, and I lost 1,800 on those. You can see the puts didn't work out, so I had to kind of like weasel my way out by buying low and selling the pop when price dipped just a little bit right there. Okay, that's it for me for today. Thanks, Tex, for sharing that YouTube video. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today. I hope you all made some profits. I hear a lot of people made profits. All right. And do this if you can. Put a little $sign if you made some profits off of some BYOB strategies today. That would be beautiful. Other than that, I'll see you guys all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We'll do it again. Thanks, Gene. Love it. Thank you. Congratulations, by the way, on your profits. All right. Congratulations on everybody. On Alan, love it. Nice comeback, Alan. Love it. No, Brent. Okay, you didn't have a comeback. Okay, Alan did a great day. 5%. Love it, guys. Love it. Way to go. Couldn't be happier. All right. I love it when the strategies that I'm teaching are working for you guys. Okay, I'm out of breath. I'll see you guys all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. All right. Everybody have a beautiful evening.